Good evening, football fans, and welcome to Gridiron Weekly. Joining me is my co-host, John. Good evening, John. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm good, Bill. Frigid, but we're
Yeah,
good. Both of us are cold, man.
yeah, it's frigid temperatures here
Yeah,
in the Berg, and I know up there in Buffalo, it's cold too. So in
yeah,
the teens.
yeah, yeah.
So all right, so we got a pretty packed show tonight. Lots to talk about with NCAA, obviously. Um, uh, I want to get into Lane Kiffin, this whole
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin thing, and just the problem with college football right now, as I see it. And I know that judging on our discussions in the past, I know you kind of see it that way as well.
Yeah,
And then I want to get into these championships.
yeah.
Um, there's some good ones. There's some not so good ones. Um, and obviously the final week we want to talk what happened last weekend.
Yep.
And also, I really want to get into this headbutting thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to let this go. It's just I don't want to let this go, and I don't think anybody else should let this go either. But
Yeah.
NFL,
Oh, go ahead.
There's NFL. We'll get into last week's games, some big games, some big upsets that went on. I thought the Thanksgiving schedule was pretty good.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that. We'll get into some NFL news, and then look at Week 14. Some pretty good games going on. I know my team, the Steelers and the Ravens.
Yeah.
An AFC North battle for supremacy, basically.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that. But I guess we'll just get right to it and start off with the takeaways from Week 14 in college football.
Well,
Your team obviously is for real. They got it done this year. 27-9 victory over Michigan. Uh, you held the Wolverines without a touchdown, and just solidifying their case for being the top seed in college football. So I know you have some being an Ohio State fan. Let's say what'd you think about the game?
it was long time coming for Michigan. I mean, it was
Wow.
4 years worth of Michigan winning, and I mean, it is what it should have been. Like, I'm really glad it happened that way.
Yeah.
They beat them, and I don't. Out of all the teams, man, all me, including in Indiana, who I'm not crazy about their head coach, but it's nothing like Michigan, of course. I mean, Michigan is just their head coach, the whole way they do things there. It's just,
It,
it's not. I mean, it's just. I don't even know
it
what to say, man.
It's I could say, I mean, it's a clown show.
Yeah,
I've never seen this team is undisciplined. Um, it's just it's hoodlums basically. Just what we'll get into it. Just
well,
what you saw on the field with that headbutt and just the mentality of the team. I mean, they're out of control. They're out of control. The coach is a joke.
and
And
I don't think
the
the
program,
quarterback developed at all. Like Underwood
no.
really didn't, and I think just
No,
like in the
I don't think
NFL.
he did at all.
Just like in the NFL, I was thinking this. You get that you draft your quarterback, they don't develop, people get let go and get fired, you don't develop them. I mean, this
Right.
is after week. I mean, Underwood, and we can even go to Manning too in Texas, but both these guys underwhelming, underdeveloped. Underwood even worse. I got to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Watching him, I don't see generational anything. I don't
No.
see anything any more than I saw from the kid that was at Tennessee last year that ended up I can never say his name, ended up in UCLA. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, yeah. It's a doozy of a last name. I know. I
Yeah,
can't say it either.
it's
Yeah.
it's the same thing, right? Or like,
I am Avella or whatever the hell. Yeah.
yeah, or like that
Yeah.
kid at Clemson when he took over for Trevor Lawrence and everyone thought he was good and he really wasn't. He only had a couple of good games.
Yep.
I don't know. Underwood, we'll see. I could look really stupid next year for saying this, but I didn't see anything.
No,
And
I agree with you. I didn't see anything from him all year really. I mean, he just it didn't seem like he, I don't know. He wasn't a he wasn't a quarterback that that stuck out to you. That's for sure.
No, because you look, I mean, Ohio State has their freshman they're saying, and you see it in him. You can see
Oh yeah,
as this
he's
year
a
went
gamer.
on, he
Yeah,
got better, and all that. And he's not as dynamic, certainly not, because he doesn't run as much, but he handles the game, he manages it well. I mean, I don't know. The defense of Ohio State is what separates them because it's not really the offense, right? Even though they got the great weapons, it's the defense that does it. The linebackers, the two tackles, they're all going to be in the NFL next year. Caleb Downs, he'll go too. So I don't know. I mean, I think this is a great. That wasn't even really a test. I mean, that was no different watching them play Michigan than it was watching them play Wisconsin. In all honesty,
right.
it was the same game, or Northwestern. So Michigan got what they deserved. I'm glad Ohio State didn't fight with them. I'm really kind of happy that there was no outbursts at the end of the game. I got to give Ryan Day credit for, he asked the head coach for Michigan to get his guys off the field, afterwards. So there was no issues. So I don't know, man. And then we're going to get to the headbutting because that's where it all comes from.
Yeah.
I'm just glad it's over, and I'm glad they beat them. And now Indiana's going to be much tougher.
Well, yeah, and yeah, I mean, you can be an Ohio State fan. You can kind of breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief that they were able to beat Michigan because that was a thorn in their side for a few years, and
Yeah.
you guys were able to get it done. I mean, 27-9. That's a pretty convincing win. And I like the second half. I liked it was snowing. You
Yeah.
got a little bit of the elements there. It was it was good. But yeah, I just Michigan is just. There's a lot of problems. I tell you who I would like to ask about the Michigan program and get his take is Tom Brady. I'd like to see what he
Yeah.
thinks about this whole. I'm sure if you got him off of of the camera and microphone, he would be pretty animated in how he feels this Michigan program is now. It's taken a turn for the worst, in my opinion.
I mean,
And it all starts with the head coach.
they had kind of an abrupt leaving with Harbaugh and all that went on. I mean, he didn't do them any favors either. How he left and what he left behind. When you think about it, a lot of this is Harbaugh's issue too. He left this
Right.
behind. I mean, he caused. I mean, all the nonsense that happens with them and all the different sanctions, and then there he is, and now he's gone. He kind of left them in a little bit of a mess. I'm kind of surprised, Bill, that they're not doing a coaching search. I really am. I thought for sure we would hear that they were looking to get in on some of this because people will come coach Michigan. Although I will say this, Penn State didn't realize how difficult it was going to be. I think they thought just because they were Penn State, people are going to be lining up, and they haven't. But Michigan, though, on the other hand, I'm sure you could have gotten something. But to go back into the season with that guy again and that whole thing, I don't know, man. I don't know where they're. I don't think they're going in the right direction.
Yeah. Indiana stays perfect.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's going to be that's going to be the Big Ten championship game. Ohio State and Indiana finished the regular season 12-0. Just blasted freaking Purdue. I mean, just kick their ass up and down in the field. So, yeah. What do you what I mean? What do you think? I mean, I think this is going to be a really good game. I think you got two teams that are, powerhouses, and I think it's going to be a showdown.
One thing I'll say is I don't think Indiana has come close to playing anywhere near the defense they're going to see.
Yeah,
their schedule's a little bit. I mean, I'm looking at it. I mean, it was all Big Ten stuff. Even their out of conference stuff wasn't that great. I think, man, if I can't believe it, you won't see a replay of the Michigan game because I think Mendoza's good, but you're gonna. I to be honest, to see Ohio State win this game by 7 or more wouldn't surprise me. Because I do think they are they are better than Indiana. They just are all. I mean, defensively, all around the horn.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say is this: they can't start that game how they did against Michigan, because against Michigan they threw an interception and I believe went 3 and out or something. But all they could do was kick field goals. Now Indiana might score.
Well,
So
Yeah, I will say that that game opened up. You were like, "Oh, I don't know, man.
I
We
know.
might be seeing another." It was, but then saying in the offense, and they were able to get everything together. They, you want to talk about a guy who has a short memory. I mean, he went out there the next drive, and you said they had an interception. I think they had the 3-and-out, and then
Yeah.
their third drive, he went out there like I said, with a short memory, and they marched the ball down the field and scored. So
One guy that doesn't get a lot is that freshman running back, Lamar Bo Jackson. Incredible. He's got those 3 names. He's
yeah,
good, number 25. And you
yep,
don't really think about, because everyone's a freshman back there. But
right,
Jackson's good. He was a big difference maker there because I think he calmed everything down. They got the ball. He had like a 35-yard run, and then,
yeah,
they went with it. So,
yeah. They were able to establish the running game with him kind of early on for sure. So. What about the SEC? A lot of
uh,
shakeups in the SEC. You see a four-way tie for first place.
yeah,
7-1 conference records: Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. Alabama, I mean, they survived that close Iron Bowl against Auburn. What a game that was! Enjoyable game to watch. Um, you know,
very.
you had that targeting call, which I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, I mean, Auburn's all that Iron Bowl. It always is close. It always is. I mean, there's been some years where Alabama's blown them, blown them out of the water. There's been that game where Auburn surprised them in one in the last second there. But I mean, yeah, it was an entertaining game to watch. Auburn played them
very.
tough. Auburn, definitely played them tough. So, and then how about Georgia? I mean, tight win over Georgia Tech.
Yeah. Love Georgia Tech, man. All year. I know you have. I know you've been a big fan. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a good. I mean, it was
Oh,
tight.
yeah. Haynes King is for real. I don't care what
He is.
anybody says. He is for real. Um, I mean, when you want to talk about just a total package quarterback, I think that's Haynes King.
I have some concerns about Alabama's offense, I got to say. I mean, watching them, I don't feel like they push people around anymore. Like, it feels like they tend to be pushed. I don't know. There's something about it with them. I don't know what it is. I don't know. There's just something about that. Maybe it's the lack of a real running game like they usually have. Because they kind of don't have that right now. So I don't know. I have a little concern. I'm really concerned for them going in against Georgia for this, for the second time coming up.
Yeah. Well, let's look at the championship games. Obviously, we talked about it. Ohio State and
Yeah.
Indiana, the battle of the unbeaten's for the Big Ten title. I think it's going to be fireworks. I think it's going to be a great game, one to
Yeah.
definitely tune into. Georgia and Alabama. I mean, how? I mean, that's that's going to be another good
Yeah.
game.
No. Now, what they
You
beat
know,
them already once, right? Alabama won the first matchup,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
Well,
So,
hey, let me ask you this: is Alabama's playoff life on the line here? Because if they
well, yeah,
lose,
I was just going to say that. The winner of that game secures a likely playoff berth. But if Alabama loses, I mean that makes your path way more difficult. Obviously,
but think about it, Bill. They got to be in, right? If you make the conference, let's say they play a good game. Let's say they lose this game. It's a great game. It's an epic one of their games that they have. Where it's a one-score game, overtime. It could be anything. You can't tell me that's. You know what I'm saying? They're already sitting there. I guess the problem is it'll be the third loss, and you have people. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you shouldn't be punished for losing in your conference championship game when the other teams didn't even make it. You know what I'm
right?
saying? Like, it's
Yeah,
like I'm looking at Ole Miss and I'm kind of looking at Texas A&M. So it's going to be really interesting because a 3-loss team usually won't be in. So it'll be
yeah,
curious. What a big game.
yeah.
Understatement.
And Texas Tech and BYU. This is going to be a good one too. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Texas Tech now, they spent a ton of money, right? Remember going into the year, they
they
spent all
did.
that.
Yeah, they spent a ton of money. Yes, they did. I agree. They did.
Man, I don't see
Uh,
them being the fourth best team in the country, though. I
yeah.
don't think I do, but
I don't
man,
either. I don't. I'm with you
yeah,
on that. I'm with you on that. I don't like the final rankings. I didn't really like them. How about this one? I mean, the ACC title game, Virginia and Duke. I mean, when you look at it, I mean that's just uh, it's chaos in the ACC. After Georgia Tech and SMU lost,
yeah.
Duke Duke earns a spot in that championship game against number 17 Virginia.
I'm going to
Uh,
guess they really need Virginia to win, or else there won't be an ACC team in there.
Yeah, I mean it's just a complicated tiebreaker.
Yeah,
Despite teams having better overall records, Pitt, my team had a better. I mean,
yeah,
it's just I just kind of I don't know.
yeah,
I think Virginia's going to rout Duke if you really want my honest opinion.
yeah.
I mean, you know, you've got a 7-5 going against a 10-2, so
Right.
so
Yeah.
but yeah, so we shall see, though. We shall see. All right, let's talk Lane Kiffin. I know this has been a big topic,
Yeah.
across a lot of sports talk shows. I was watching Dan Patrick the last couple days, and he just, you know, he spent a lot of time both days. I think a couple hours talking about Lane Kiffin. A lot of
Yeah.
reaction to what happened. A lot of outrage at Ole Miss. Obviously, fans are furious. About him leaving the team right before, its first ever college football playoff experience or
Right.
experience too, but appearance. But I think it was, this should not happen.
Yeah.
This should not be allowed to happen, in my opinion. Um, you know, it's just been a mess, in my opinion. I criticize, I really criticize Kiffin's professionalism. I mean, I didn't like the way he handled things. I didn't like how he dragged it out. Uh, you know, I mean, the writing was on the wall. You knew he was going to go to LSU. I mean,
Right.
because if he wasn't, he would have made that announcement prior to that game on Friday and said, "Hey, I'm
Exactly.
staying." Like you knew when he didn't make the announcement, and time kept moving on, and he didn't say, "Hey, I'm staying."
Right.
You knew it was leading to him going to LSU. The writing was on the wall.
Mhm.
Um, and I, my honest opinion. I think he's probably going to have more success at LSU than what Ole Miss. I mean, he's going to get better recruits for sure.
Right.
Um, you know, it's what was it? $12 million for 7 years. $12 million
Yeah.
a year, 7 years. And from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ole Miss was willing to match that.
Yeah.
It really
They
didn't
said
come
so.
down. Yeah, that's what we're hearing. So it really didn't come down to money. It come down to, he felt like LSU is. I mean, it's as he called it, his dream job. But honestly, I mean, when you look at it, really, when you boil it down, yeah, I think he's going to have a better chance of success at LSU than he would at Ole Miss. Just saying. I mean, he's going to have. I just think he's going to have a lot more at his disposal than he would at Ole Miss.
And you wonder, and then I don't know why this is, and I'm asking, but it's like a rhetorical question, I guess. I know we don't know the answer, but I wonder why. Like, Ole Miss is look what they're doing, right? They're sitting there, they're ready to make the playoff. They've had a great year. I mean, there'd be no reason why if he didn't stay, they have the money to spend. They could have built on, that's what I don't understand. You'd have built on what you started. A lot of coaches have done that, right? I mean, Signetti, I don't like him, but he stayed. He could have very easily left Indiana and went anywhere. Think
Right.
about that. I mean, Penn State would have taken him in a second, and people kind of connected him, right, because of his Pennsylvania ties and everything else. And he stays. Like, all Kiffin had to just stay with them. I mean, got one of the better quarterbacks in the country. You had two of them at one point, and then I mean, I don't know. This is
Well,
bull. I don't understand it. I don't
well,
know. But
and I
he
didn't.
talked to Nick Saban and God. That's what he said. So
Yeah. Well, I didn't like the fact that he kind of, I didn't like in the presser how he said, "Well, I
Yeah.
wanted to coach, but Ole Miss didn't want me to." Like, come on, guy, you left, okay? You left. Like, I could, and I'm not sure about this, but I think that I don't think there was a lot of players that truly wanted him to stay after that.
Right.
And
I,
I
ex-
wouldn't. If I was a player, I wouldn't have wanted him to
I
stay. I'd be like, "Go, you chose them over us. Go." Like,
yeah, go. Right.
right?
Exactly. And I don't think it's going to hurt. I
Yeah,
honestly think they'll play hard. They'll probably put up a good performance.
yeah,
But like, look at the guy from Tulane, right? What's it, John Sumrall or whatever? He leaves for Florida, but he's going to be there for the conference championship game against North Texas, which could get them in the playoff if they win. Tulane might be a playoff team. But he did
yeah,
it differently, right? He didn't do it the way Kiffin made a circus of this. That guy on ESPN from he's that reporter for college football. He's got a southern accent. That was unbelievable the way he was chasing Lane Kiffin around.
yeah.
So it was a big circus, and
It
I
was.
don't
It was. Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
blame
it
him
was.
for that.
No, it was a circus, and listen. I mean, Kiffin has a little bit of a reputation for these things. I mean, when
Sure
you
does.
look at it, I mean, when he left Tennessee in 2009, that wasn't the most you know
Not nice.
cordial of
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't the most cordial of him leaving, that you could have. And I mean, hey, let's even talk about how when he left the Oakland Raiders, um, you know, um,
That was yeah.
he's just there was a lot of things going on. I remember Al Davis called him a flat out liar.
Yep.
Um,
Imagine that.
and then he was fired mid-season at USC. So there's he has a little bit of a past with these types of things. So
Yeah.
with just not
He loves the dramatics. He loved all of this. He loved ESPN chasing him. He loved having the two LSU private planes waiting for him and that whole night. You know what I mean? I think as much as he says he prayed about it, he talked to everybody about all that. He wasn't that humble. He tried to act like he was humble, and there was no humbleness at all. It was
right. I
complete
agree.
show.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he got it, and everyone got it. And Ole Miss, I really hope they just don't fall off. I really hope there's some way that they can maintain at least where they're at. Because right now, to me, they are one of the top 10 teams in the country.
Yeah.
Sitting there, I think they're a national. They are a team that could give. You tell me they go play one of these four teams that get a bye, you're not going to want to play Ole Miss. They're tough. They would be a very tough first round matchup for any one of them. So I don't know.
In Kiffin's perspective, he largely blamed the difficult situation and the timing of the college football calendar.
Well,
And he said he hopes over time that the wounds with Ole Miss fans will heal. I don't know. I don't think they will. I don't think they will anytime soon. They're not going to forget this one.
Bill, let me ask you this:
Um,
what does this probably better than I do? I think the NCAA. Why can't we make this to where these things just don't get announced until the season is over, just until it's all done? I don't.
I don't know. It's
Yeah,
a great
I don't know.
question. I mean, they say it's it's because of the whole
School,
calendar. I mean, they claim about you know the break. I've heard
right?
that as well. Um, just different things. I mean, they unlike the NFL, they don't. College football does not have a synchronized calendar for any kind of type of coaching movement. Signing days, transfer portal. I mean, and I mean it's not good because it really
This
it forces a lot of programs and a lot of athletic directors, I think, into decisions that are rushed. You know what I mean? I mean, and um, and if you're a school that can act quickly and secure, new staff and stuff like that before your rivals do, then it gives you a little bit of a competitive advantage, in my opinion. I mean, it's just there's a lot of things I think that you
yeah,
know that are bad about this whole thing.
definitely.
Um, And when you look at it too, coaches often have these big contracts, favorable contracts with these buyouts, and and then like this, he's still going to make some money off of Ole Miss. He still owed some money from Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So it's just there's a lot. It's a mess, really. And here's the thing: college football created this. Okay,
Yeah.
so they got nobody to blame but themselves.
Well, yeah, because now we're watching everyone. We know the money is huge. We have general managers, which is strange as hell, and for a college team to have a GM, and we're still running it like when we were younger. They still have it like in a way, like, oh, we got recruiting, we got that doesn't matter
Well,
anymore. It's over.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, enough.
and that's another thing. It creates chaos with recruiting.
Yeah. And
A lot of these high school players that committed based on a relationship with a previous coach. Now they're left with little time to kind of some of them have to reevaluate their options, either find a new school.
right.
If they don't have this, if the new coach doesn't they don't have the relationship like they had with the previous coach with this new coach, then they it's rough.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. It is a mess. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, the lack of a unified calendar really hurts them.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's get into this headbutt incident. I just want to. I'm going to get your take before I give you my take.
All right.
Go ahead.
Watching the game, it was, again, there's a lot of push. Of course, they're always fighting and whatever they're doing in the Michigan Ohio State game, like in every one of these big rivalry games. Number 0, I don't know who it was. I can't remember his name. You might know it. I don't even know. He headbutt the ref. I mean, it was just, and I was stunned. They showed it again, and I remember I turned to my wife. I'm watching with. I go, maybe he didn't touch him. I mean, how could he not be thrown out? How didn't all hell break loose like that? Like a laundry, you should have saw laundry all over the field. Like, and I could not believe that they just let it go. I still can't believe it. I don't. It goes to the whole Michigan thing. I think they're out of control. And I mean, even the head coach did nothing about it. You would figure him himself would have had a problem with the fact that one of his kids just headbutt a referee in the face, but nothing. I don't know, man. That to me, I don't care what you do. You headbutt your opponent, it's bad. 15 yards will be a penalty. You punch the opponent, you're grabbing the referee. Well, just punch the referee in the face. What the hell's the difference then? Do whatever you want. Yeah, Bill, that's my take. I was stunned, and it just kind of went away.
Yeah, I cannot believe that it wasn't made into a bigger thing than what it was. I mean, I just still cannot believe. Jay Sean Barham was his name.
Okay.
Here's what the official's judgment on it. According to the Big Ten referee Cole Knuppel, the decision was a judgment call based on Rule 9 of the NCAA rulebook. In the official's judgment, while contact was made, it did not meet the threshold of forcible contact required for an automatic ejection under the rule. That is just complete and utter BS. Okay, because here's the thing: like he turned around, looked at the ref. It wasn't like he turned around and like
Yes.
in motion of turning around, he hit the ref. He turned around, stood there, and looked at him for about 2 seconds, and then leaned in and headbutted him.
Yeah.
And it was just unbelievable. How on earth was not ejected and suspended. I mean,
Right.
and how this is just unbelievable. I cannot believe that it's just unbelievable to me. It's not forcible enough for an ejection. I mean, what a bunch of bull. What a bunch of bull. And also there was other reports and speculation that Barham was attempting to demonstrate to the official that an Ohio State player had headbutted him earlier in the play, misjudging the distance and accidentally making contact with the official's nose. And that the official may have perceived that as being unintentional and not a malicious act. Bull.
That's how it works.
Okay? Yeah, bull. Okay, that's just That's ridiculousness. And it's speculation. That's just ridiculous. I tell you what, I cannot believe that happened, and I cannot believe that I can't believe that it's not being made into a bigger thing than what it is. I mean, you got guys that are being thrown out for targeting left and right, but
Yeah.
yet I guess in this day and age, it's okay to headbutt an official.
How many times have I watched the side judge or whatever running down the sidelines bump into somebody? You remember we saw that against Jordan. I can't remember what college game. One of the kids, he bumped into one of the kids, and they called a 15-yard penalty, and it was a big deal because it was on a kick return. The whole deal. It was last year. It might have been a playoff game or a conference final game, and penalties were called. That guy didn't even get penalized. So I mean, like, I don't think he did, or did he? No, he didn't get 15
No,
yards for that.
no, they
For any
did
of
get
that
no, they did get 15 yards. They did
for
get
him.
15 yards. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
he
right.
received a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, but like I said, he remained in the game.
He remained in the game.
Here, here's some reactions from some sports analysts. Joe Klatt commented, and former NFL referee Terry McCauley also commented. He goes, Barham should have been ejected immediately, citing any contact, regardless of
Right.
what speculation is involved with it, or regardless of what any contact with an official warrants removal from the game. Period. And yet he remained in the game, and like I said, the penalty resulted in an automatic first down for Ohio State, which ultimately led to the field goal on that drive. I cannot believe that happened. I
Yeah.
cannot believe that he was thrown out, or I cannot believe that he wasn't thrown out, and I just cannot believe that it just seems like everybody has just swept this under the rug, and it's not it's a non-issue at this point. I just can't believe it.
Yeah.
I
I
just
feel
can't believe it.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it, and I think Klatt was calling the game. I believe it was him. Yeah, he was there with Fox and all that. And no, I mean, when it happened, he kind of made everything went so fast. Then, right? And watching the game, I think Joe Klatt was the one who was the analyst, and he was saying, "Oh, he headbutted him," and then it's like, what the hell? Next thing you know, they snapped the ball, and we didn't hear another word about it. And I'll tell you what, man, I don't, again, and I know I'm sitting here with my Ohio State stuff on, so I really hate Michigan, but that just shows that they're a little it's an out of control team.
It
I,
is.
I, I
It
mean,
is.
as much
It
as
is.
whatever you think of Ryan Day and all of that, the Ohio State team's not doing that. Alabama's
Right.
not doing that. Georgia's not there. We're not having that. No one's going to get Michigan. They're as out of control as the head coach is, who you see him on the sidelines. All you got to do is just watch, and it
Yeah.
shows you what he's on. And then
Yeah.
I don't know. He should have been ejected. He should have been, as far as I'm concerned, probably should have missed games next year.
Well, yeah, I agree. They should have done more. They should have ejected him and suspended him. I agree.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank. That should have been done. And it's in my opinion, it's it's just an absolute, injustice in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, but all right, let's move on to the boys that play Sunday, Monday, Thursday, pretty much every Friday, Thursday, pretty much every day of the week. The NFL. Let's get into the recap of Week 13. Like I said before in the opening segment, featured a series of upsets. You had some pretty intense finishes. You had some dominant defensive performances. Some of these results tightened several playoff races. Your Bears taking over the NFC's top seed after beating the Eagles. How about the Panthers stunning the Rams? I mean, let's get into it. By the way, I thought the Thursday Thanksgiving games were pretty good. I thought they were pretty entertaining. I thought the most entertaining one was the Chiefs and Cowboys. I mean, that was very entertaining. And it was pretty surprising to see Joe Burrow back and do what he did to the Ravens. The Packers, Lions, you have to take or leave it that. But the Chiefs and Cowboys, Bengals and Ravens, those are both two good games.
Yeah, I mean the Bengals right now are God. Could they win that division? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
They got the worst. I was looking up, getting ready for the Bills show. Looking at the the Bengals defense. It is statistically bad in every. If it's not 32nd, it's 31st or whatever the hell. Many team they're dead last in everything, but like I don't even know. Maybe their rush defense is 31. It's so bad. So probably they shouldn't win anything, but. That was good. I mean, the whole thing, the Bears dominating Philadelphia. I'm going to tell you this. You know how I feel about my teams. Generally, they disappoint me and upset me. After they beat Pittsburgh, I was like,
I like to say I've never met a guy who has more anger and disdain for the teams he roots for.
Yeah, it's big time love hate, and they beat Pittsburgh, and I was like, I don't know, it was Rudolph, all that stuff. I'm like, I'm not quite sure with this game what I just saw here. When they played Philadelphia and rushed for 250 yards, I think they legitimately can be a playoff team and actually play in a playoff game and maybe win one because
I think that game. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I mean, I am still shocked at where they were. Like, I think I put this on social media. Black Friday is when they played. Black Friday last year, they fired Eberflus. This Black Friday, what a difference a year makes. And so no, I'm actually pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, and I think good point on that. I think that game really beating the Eagles is big, especially I mean it's the Eagles. I mean, and they're a pretty good team. But to me that kind of there was a lot of non-believers with the Bears, right? But I think that game kind of made a lot of believers. Yeah, I think it made some people that were kind of on the fence say, okay, maybe this team is for real. Maybe they are for real. What they're able to do. I mean, maybe they are for real. So, underdogs had a field day this past week. Yeah. I mean, you got the Panthers, like I said, that were able to beat the Rams. Texans with their big win. Jets and the Buccaneers all pulling up upset victories. The Jets, I mean, if you're the Atlanta Falcons, how do you lose that game? Bijan Robinson, the way he's been running the football, and I mean, I know that they have their starter out for the season. You've got Cousins in there now, but that's just unbelievable to me. Texans, I warned you. I said
you were
it
right.
weeks ago.
You did.
For this team. I said, even though they got off to a bad start, I said this team could very, very well turn it around, and they have. So
I was talking to you about you on another podcast because it would have been about 5 weeks ago, I think, when you said it. Yeah. They were only like 3-5. I don't know what the hell they were. They weren't even 500 yet. And I know you told us to look out. And I'll tell you right now, I think they're going to win the division. With Indy, with the quarterback injury, he's got a broken leg. I don't know about Jacksonville. None of us. I like Jacksonville, but I know how you feel about them. If you had to put it up against Houston or Jacksonville, you're going Houston, right, Bill? I mean, you'd figure
I'd be going Houston. So, absolutely, I would.
I think Indy's starting that injury to that guy's leg, Jones. Yeah. I mean, I think that's a problem when you're sitting running around on a broken fibula or whatever it is.
Right.
So I don't know, man. You called that one right because Houston's. I mean, where are they sitting at? They're 7-5. They're right there. So.
Yeah, they got a better record than my Steelers, for crying out loud. I mean, who would have thought that? I said that. I said, this team, watch out. They're going to go on a tear, and they're going to get right back in this thing. I felt it weeks ago. I felt it in the beginning of October. I felt this team was capable of turning it around after a handful of games that were pretty dismal. I mean,
I got to ask you about a team. They're 10-2. And they deserve to be 10-2. Fine. Denver really almost lost to Mariota. I mean, it wasn't. I mean,
close. What? Batted that pass down, and I mean that on that fourth down.
What do you make of Denver? I mean, every week that offense is a struggle. Such a struggle.
They struggle. It seems like they get into a funk. Well, I mean, hell, early in the season, John, they struggled against the freaking Titans. I remember they had to come from behind. I think they were down 3 scores in starting the fourth quarter, and they finally got it together and were able to win. They've had a lot of like
Weird.
like where they've had, where they've been down, and they've just, they find a way to pull a rabbit out of the hat, and
Bill,
win.
I don't find them and the Bears to be much different in a lot of ways. It's the same kind of story. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It just, next thing you know, they're losing I never forget, they're losing to the Giants at home. They ended up winning 33-32 in overtime. They were down by a ton. I think,
Yeah.
and the Giants, in that one, I just, they are the weirdest 10-2 team I may have ever seen.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you think about these Panthers?
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
I mean, how shocking is that? I think they're one of the more shocking stories that's happened thus far in the NFL. I mean, I was shocked that they beat the Rams. I mean, the NFC leading Rams, that was a statement win for them.
Really,
they ran the ball great. They had
yep.
a strong run. They had 3 defensive takeaways. I mean, that was it. That was pretty much their recipe for victory. They ran the ball well, and they had 3 defensive takeaways.
It makes you wonder if they could win their division now. I mean, you sit there; they're only a game. We'll see. They got a bye this week, but Tampa. I mean, they are shocking. They are shocked. They are right there for me with the Bears. Same thing. Last year, these teams were terrible, and this year they're actually 500 or better. They've done a great job. Good for the coach. I'm glad they didn't fire him. He's had to sit there and struggle and get Bryce Young. He's really done a good job with him. Boy, he brought them back last week, made some big throws, and it's good to see. It's probably the biggest win they've had. I can't even remember when. It's been a long time, man.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Seahawks. How about delivering the week's only shutout? Forcing 5 turnovers, holding the Vikings to 0 points, 26-0 win.
That quarterback for the Vikings, Brosmer from the University of Minnesota. Come on, man. The Vikings really were arrogant. I don't know what they were when they thought with J.J. McCarthy they could just do it. It's not. This is a big mistake for them. And
should have kept Sam Darnold. I said that.
They might need a quarterback. What if they could draft another one?
Didn't we say that? Why are you going with this kid that hasn't proved anything
at any level? Really?
Yeah, I mean, like we said that. We said that. We've been saying that for months now.
I'm not saying that McCarthy's not a winner. He's probably got the great characteristics. He won the national championship with Harbaugh. There's something about him, but he's not like, I just couldn't believe that he was handed this as if he was,
He needs more time to develop. I think that they're handling it like they want to win now with him, and it's just like, no, like he needs more time to develop.
Yeah. They need a quarterback again. I don't think I can't believe they go into next year, because right now, listening to analysts and guys that watch quarterbacks, Kurt Warner and some of the others, they say a lot of things that aren't that great about him, as far as even just the way he throws the ball, things like that. And I wonder if he's certainly a bigger project than I think they must have thought he was, because they need somebody.
Another game too. Niners. I thought they had a really dominant defensive game against the Browns. They only allowed 8 points with the Browns. That's another team.
Browns.
I think So a little bit some milestones here. Josh Allen broke the all-time record for quarterback rushing touchdowns with his 76th career score. As we said earlier, Joe Burrow returned from injury. I did not expect to see Joe Burrow back that soon.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple weeks ago when they said he was practicing, I was shocked. I was like, wow, if he's like they were saying, like, a week before Thanksgiving, or actually almost 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, that he was a full participant in practices. I'm like, wow, this guy's coming back. Commanded win over the Ravens, like we said. I mean, Baltimore was on a 5-game winning streak. You snapped that. And I want to say this, John. New England Patriots are back, my man.
Yeah.
And I called it. I hate to pat myself on the back, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. I called it. I said Drake May, I think, is going to be the best quarterback out of this draft. And I just saw a lot. I saw a lot of him, and to me, he just had what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. He's a leader, and this is an impressive campaign by the Pats. I mean, my God, you
Yeah.
know, um,
Whoever
you know,
they put in front of them, the teams they should beat, they don't just beat them. They beat them really good. Like, I mean, they beat the Giants. It was 30-3 at half. I mean, that game was over
yeah. And can I
before it
say
started.
something about that? I want to get your take on this too. Jackson Dart he needs to settle down a little bit with this running. The guy has been in concussion protocol, in and out of concussion protocol all season, and
Yeah.
he's one of those guys. It seems like he wants to prove to everybody that he's a tough guy. I'm sorry, but a tough guy to me plays all 17 games.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
tough guy to me, is the one that you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
I'm going to say,
Eli Manning. How many
yeah.
he was on a streak for
He does.
how he was
Yeah.
on a long streak for never he didn't
Right.
miss a game for a long period of time. I mean, there's been a guy Brett Favre, Steve McNair back in the day. I'm
You know
sorry,
what
but
else a guy doesn't? You know what else a tough guy doesn't do? Wear a diamond necklace around his neck like that. Either. I'm sorry, but you're
yeah,
running around. You know what it is? There's a lot of show going on with. I like Jackson Dart. Okay, I like him. I'm not saying I don't, but takes the helmet off, the hair. He's putting on. You ever see him
well,
at the press conference? A big circus act. Got to more
yeah.
concentrate on what you're saying. Stay healthy and be in the game. He got buried on the sideline. He went flying.
And that was a legal hit.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I didn't. I hated how the lineman come over and drill. I
Yeah.
mean, that was a legal hit. That was a legal freaking hit. He was
Yeah.
still in bounds, and that was a legal hit. I had it. I'm sick and tired of these guys. I know. Well, you got to stick up for your quarterback. Well, yeah, but it was a legal hit.
It's why they got to get that. It's why I'm watching when I'm watching the Bears games. My favorite team, so I watch them all. I watch everything, but I'm watching that one particularly, and I'll see Williams running, and I'm like, why the hell? What the? He got the. Well, you got to get down. It isn't like it. It's gotten worse. It's changed a little. Remember when the quarterback was really, really, I mean, incredibly protected? Like that would have been a penalty about 10 years ago. What happened to Dart on the sideline? You know what I'm saying? I remember those times. Now they're letting them. I think they did something I heard in the offseason where they told quarterbacks, like, you have to get down. If you're still, even if you're 1 foot and you're going to get it, they're going to hit you. Like, you have to give yourself up or you're free game to be hit. And Dart, I don't know, man. Dayball got fired basically for the hits that he was taking. So, Kafka better really get this kid to understand. Or like you said, you're not a tough guy if you can only play 8 games. You're not there for your team, I mean, so McMahon, that was McMahon's problem with the Bears way, way back when. You know what I'm saying? He's a tough guy, and he headbutted his offensive lineman, but he couldn't play a season.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't get, because he'd get murdered. So, yeah, he's got to do that. That's a great point. And stop wearing those freaking necklaces, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Injuries
Like a string of pearls. All right, go ahead.
Injuries continue to be a major factor as well. Yeah, Justin Herbert leaving the game with that left hand injury, had a minor procedure this week on it. The Colts potentially lost. Sauce Gardner has that serious calf injury. But other news: Mark Andrews, the team's all-time receiving leader, signs a 3-year deal, $39.3 million contract extension. Steelers waived Darius Slay. Bills claimed him off waivers. However, he hasn't reported yet, and he's contemplating retirement. So, Jalen Carter, big loss for the Eagles, defensive tackle, going to be week to week with procedure on both of his shoulders. So, and you know what? Lamar Jackson sat out practice again today due to this ankle injury. So I don't know.
Isn't Herbert playing with some broken hand or something? His left hand, I think. He's got some. Yeah, so that's another one, man.
Yeah. I saw this today. I was listening to Jim and Pat on Moving the Chains at Sirius XM. Deshaun Watson's practicing.
Yeah, yeah,
You
he
know,
should. Yeah,
uh, he could he's taken a major step in his return. He's on the practice field. I don't know. I mean, what do you think about that? Has the Browns settled on Shador Sanders? I mean,
yeah.
could we see Deshaun play this season?
Yeah, next week against the Bears, I'd love to see it. Put him in because they need someone to. They can't keep putting those guys are whatever with Shador and Gabriel. They weren't right. That was a disgrace what they done to those two guys. Honestly, they shouldn't be in those positions. They're not. Look at them. They're not
Right.
ready. It's a terrible team, and you're just Dylan Gabriel. They shouldn't have done that too. I mean, he got it, and then Shador Sanders. They shouldn't. I mean, I'll defend him a little bit. I mean, don't. What are you doing? You got to have somebody. I don't care who it is. You want to get Huntley. You want to go grab anybody. Get somebody and put someone in there who's a veteran to at least ride the rest of the season out. Because I don't know what that whole thing is. You've said this a million times about
Well, it
Cleveland,
was stupid
and
that
you're so right. They're just terrible. The whole organization is horrible.
they can't get right. I mean,
No,
one year you think, okay, they finally figured it out. They're finally taking steps in the right direction, and the wheels fall off. It's shortly thereafter the wheels fall off. They're just an organization they're just a. I hate to say it, they're a joke of an organization.
they yeah.
My oldest daughter's boyfriend is a Browns fan. His
Well,
dad was from Cleveland, so I but I try to, I don't talk too much, smack on them when I'm around him. But
well, look, I mean, you got listen to what you're saying. Deshaun Watson. That's who it all
yeah,
started there. And yes, he should play immediately. He should play
the
this week.
stupidest signing
Yes.
ever, and he pissed a lot of owners off
Yeah.
by doing that, Mr. Jimmy Haslam, and it was dumb,
But think
you know.
about, you had Pickett there. Whatever you think, I'd rather let him be playing
Well,
right now.
you should have just kept Flacco for the love of God,
Yes. Right.
it
I
just
mean, because Dylan Gabriel got knocked out, so that's it for him. Sanders was your fourth string quarterback all the time until just by the time then you decided to move Flacco on, and then you move Pickett on, and you're left with those two guys. I mean, what are you doing? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how. I don't even know how one person buys a ticket to go to those games. They're insane.
yeah,
I wouldn't go if I'm not a Browns fan. I don't give a shit what you are. How do you go? How do you give them a dime? Because they really don't care what they put on the field, obviously. Other than Myles Garrett, what are you going to watch? Nothing.
right, nothing.
Oh,
All right, let's look at Week 14.
okay.
NFC North showdown. Your
Yeah.
Bears visit the Packers, Lambeau Field, 9-3 versus 8-3-1. Division lead is on the line. The Packers are pretty tough to beat at Lambeau Field, John.
Yeah. The Bears don't do it.
Yeah, this is a critical late season rivalry game for sure. What's your take on it? What's your feel on it?
Well, the Bears they got to get some. I don't know if TJ Edwards is back. I know Tremaine Edmonds won't be back for another couple weeks. Noah, so they need to be at full strength. They're going to be kind of in the backfield, which is good. If the Bears don't turn the ball over, Bill, and they don't do no interception fumble, they hold on to the ball. I think they could keep it close. I think I don't think the line should be 7 or 7.5. I think the Bears. I don't think they're going to be blown out. It'll be a close game. Green Bay always beats them, though, man. I mean, I'm not used to seeing a Bears team. I mean, Lambeau last year didn't count. That was a useless game. Jordan Love didn't even play. So look, this is another test for the Bears, right? If they beat the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau, then I don't know, man. They deserve to be the number 1 seed, then I guess. But if this is a huge step in their process. I mean, the Packers are probably further ahead, though, right? I mean, they're honestly they're probably the better team, but we'll see. I hate Green Bay as much as I hate Michigan, so it's a tough one for me to even choke the words out about Green Bay.
And then when you look at the AFC North, obviously the Baltimore Ravens and and my Steelers face off for the top spot in the AFC North. Ravens are slight favorites, but I like we had Ray Fittipaldo on our show last night, the
Yeah.
Steelers insider with the Pittsburgh Post Gazette, and I said the lack of consistency on really on both teams. I said I could see the Steelers winning this game. I could see them winning this game, especially now that you got a banged up Lamar Jackson dealing with this ankle injury. Two days in a row now he sat out of practice.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I could too, because my reasoning is they're an angry team. Listening to Watt talk and TJ Watt and the way that some of these guys are talking, I mean, they're angry. They're kind of backs to the wall. They looked so bad against Buffalo. That was ridiculous. And all that went on there pissed me off too. I mean, I'm sure it did you guys and it did me as well. And I wouldn't shock me in the least they beat Baltimore. Why not? Because Baltimore's really not that good.
Well,
Man.
and Lamar struggles against the Ravens as a whole really have struggled against the Steelers. And I could see them going down there and winning. What do you? I'll give you my take. I want to get your take first. What did you think of the signing of Adam Thielen?
Oh, I'm good with it. If I mean, the guy still got something to him. I saw him with Minnesota. He had. I mean, it was nice of them to let him go. I think it was their gift to him. Like, find somewhere else, because we got Brosmer. We're not going to get you the ball. I don't have a problem with it. I love Adam Thielen. I mean, I think the problem is getting him. The same problem might be the same in Pittsburgh, getting him the ball. I mean, they got to get him the ball. Watching Rodgers get hit like that, I don't know where the Steelers are going here. Like, I think about, in my mind, I think to next year. Like, where
after Sunday? After Sunday, I'll be able to tell you where they're going.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I listen. I'm kind of mixed on it. I mean, truth be told, would I like the Adam Thielen from 5 years ago?
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I don't know that it really gives them any kind of spark. I don't know. We'll see.
What would really be nice is if they could. I mean, look, and I know Joey Bosa, he's been playing well. He's hurt now too. I don't know if he's playing this week for the Bills. That's gonna be a big deal for them against the Bengals, I think. But just you gotta give. I didn't even feel like I saw Rodgers play football. Like, it was a weird, just strange game, and I just hope that they can give him some protection, let him be able to get the ball out there. I know he can still throw it. I've seen it. But not when he's getting his face driven. I thought he broke his nose. I don't know what the hell happened there.
Yeah. All right. We only got a couple minutes left.
Okay.
One last game I want to talk about. Kansas City 6-6. These playoff chances are dwindling for Kansas City Chiefs. They're in trouble. They're in big trouble.
To me, they're done, man.
Yeah. Sunday night game against the Houston Texans, who's 7-5. This is a virtual must-win for Kansas City. I mean, if you lose this, it's done. It's over with.
I love Houston.
Houston's elite defense. It's going to be a major test, I think, for Mahomes and the Chiefs' offense. They've just struggled. I said it before. When we talked to Zig on our weekly show on the pre and post game show. I told Zig, I said the biggest thing I see with Kansas City this year is that their lack of running. They don't have a good established running game, and that's just been their Achilles heel all season for me.
If the Chiefs get loose like they did against Buffalo and Will Anderson, they might. Mahomes is going to have a rough one. It's going to be a tough game because I don't know how he escapes them. And I love Houston in this game, Bill. I think they can win this game outright easily. I think
I'm with you. I'm just going to say this. I think I'm with you. I think Kansas City's done. I've seen enough of them this year, and I don't think they can bounce back. And I think that they're definitely not going to win the division. I mean, obviously, I think Denver's got that in the bag. But I mean, I'm not say they got it in the bag, but I think Denver's going to win that division. Kansas City's done.
If I'm a Chiefs fan, and I got to be happy with all the winning, of course, but going forward, I'm a little concerned because they haven't really done anything, right? They haven't really spent money. Look how bad the running game is. no wide receivers really. And now it's time to retool because you have to. That's what they got to do. They need to retool. They're not making, I believe, they're not making the playoffs this year. So you got to retool. You're going to have like an 8-9 record. So you'll be in the middle of the pack. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be interesting because they're not a real expense. They're kind of a cheap team, you know?
Yeah. This is going to be a tough. I mean, you couldn't have faced, a worse team for them
Yeah.
when the Houston Texans, who are just surging right now. I don't think Kansas City's going to win this one. I think Houston's going to win.
Me neither.
And I think that their season's going to be done. So that's just me. I mean, Houston, I think is they're on the up and up. And
if CJ Stroud could somehow get back to a little bit of the way it was year one, they could be the best. They could be who knows? They could be the best. They could be right there with New England because really the whole league is kind of weak in a way.
Yeah.
So there's no one really standing out. When you have New England and Chicago as your top, I'm sorry. There's two-year quarterbacks with, you know what I'm saying? It's not what we're used to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. I agree. All right. That does it, John. Anything else? I think we're good.
No, I'm ready for football. We got a good one to watch tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's let's check that right now. What is it? Is it still 10-3? Yeah. Yeah, it's still 10-3, 12:33 left in the second. Okay. 10-3 Lions. So, yeah.
Right.
So, I'll tell you what, this is Dallas needs this tonight too.
Mm-hmm. You know, huge game. Detroit, right? What if Detroit loses? They're 7-6.
Yeah. Yeah. So both teams. Yeah, both teams need it. So, all right. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will talk to you next week.